Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always my pleasure to be here. Man, this is a wonderful place if you want to learn more about the stock market, if you want to learn more about what stocks are making the news and how to take advantage of it. All right, so it's not me that gives you the information off of my opinion. It's strictly using the VectorVest software to help you as an individual investor make better decisions. That's what it's all about. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear and talking about audio. Sitting to my right side saddle is Joey. Joey is my producer. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
He's the one that makes everything in the background look great. So glad to have you here. Hopefully you guys brought someone with you. If you brought someone with you, type a me in the room. If you brought someone with you today, type a me in the room to let me know that you're working on trying to help us grow this channel. All right, so it would be a great thing. We have a big goal this year to grow our subscribership, and I'm really interested to see if you guys are willing to bring more people to the room. And man, VV Nation is coming across the room. Excellent. And I see the me's coming up. Outstanding. Thank you so much for doing that, for bringing people to the room. Again, we got a long way to go for our subscriber goal for this year. All right, those people who are brand new, sit back, ask questions. I will do the best that I can to answer as many questions as I can. But sit back, take a look, take a listen. And if this is, or these things that we talk about in here, if you like them, don't forget to hit the like button. Hit the like button. If you're new and you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, but smash the bell icon, because that way you will be alerted to any new content that comes up. So don't be afraid to do that. And the big thing is, again, subscribe to the channel. We always start off every week. Let's get hot and heavy into it. We always start off every week looking at the market. Why? Because we as VectorVest can time the market. We don't predict which way the market is going to go, but we can time the market. And that's one of the many advantages of having the VectorVest software. All right, and in a minute, I'm going to tell you how you can take advantage of it if you would like to. So we're going to get right into the home page. We're going to open that up. Here's the home page of the VectorVest software. We always say that it's laid out just like the front page of your local newspaper, where market timing is always the front and headline story. All right, and as we look at our color guard tells us that VectorVest advocates caution when investing in stocks at this time. Overall, all right, so keeping that in mind, even though the market's up today, let's go look at our major indices. All of the major indices, with the exception of our VectorVest composite, are up today. I put this on pause for a second. I'll hold. Write down some of these stocks that some of the people are looking at. Oh, all right. Sorry about that. Why you didn't tell me I was... Anyway, sorry about that. Now you can hear me. Now you should be able to hear me. All right. All right. So we start off with the market. Everything of our major indices are up. They're not going off to the way to the upside. They are up. But our VectorVest composite is down. Why is that important? Well, when you're looking at the Dow, you're looking at the NASDAQ, you're looking at the S&P, our VectorVest composite tracks the movement of over 8,400 stocks. So 8,467 stocks are being tracked in this VectorVest composite. The other indices may be going up, but when you look at the movement of all 8,467 stocks, they are going down in price today. This is what we mean by we can time the market. And from timing the market, we follow the trend of the market and we keep our subscribers on the right side of the trend of the market at all times. So from a market timing perspective today is one of those days you're a little leery about getting into the market. What do you do with your current positions? Tighten the stops on them because the market is toppy. I've been saying that for the longest time. Well, VectorVest actually has been saying that for the longest time. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. All right. The market is toppy, tighten stops. A lot of you have made a lot of money on a lot of stocks. That's great. Don't give it all back. Don't give it all back. All right. So make sure that you're in line to tighten your stops and lock in profits on some of the stocks that you have. All right. So as I look at today, what's going on, here's our color guard, which looks at a 6-day snapshot of the market. You see some yellow popping in, still more green. Here's our indicator, the MTI, which talks about if the market is toppy. When this indicator, which is cast on a scale between 0 and 2, is above the value of 1.5 to 1.6, the market is looking for a top. All right. The slowest, most conservative call we have is the confirmed call. We're still in an up call. Let's talk about what's going on in the market. So with that being said, let's go to our first stories. Okay, there we are. Let's go to our first stories. And these all tend to deal with what's going on in the market. Yellen makes a case for sweeping stimulus package in face of GOP skepticism. That's the nominee for the Treasury Secretary, gets generally cordial reception at Senate confirmation hearing. And interesting, right? But nonetheless, pushing for a stimulus package. Our market is still moving up, even though it's toppy, based on three main things. We're looking at stimulus, looking at the coronavirus, and also looking at inflation. Inflation is going to play a role in inflation and interest rates. Inflation is going to play a role somewhere down the line. Next story. Over $5 billion in U.S. small business relief loans approved in the first week. That's huge. That's huge. A lot of the small businesses, which help to keep the economy going, are going under. And now we're looking at some money to help them. And you know what? That helps to push the market higher. And one more thing, Powell sees no interest rate hikes on the horizon as long as inflation stays low. Interesting as you say that, because my little spin on that is, my little spin on that is that from an inflation standpoint, if the market keeps going up, what's going to happen? Prices are going to keep going up, which means inflation is going to increase. So from that perspective, what is the medium point of inflation before the Fed gets involved in wondering what it wants to do, especially if they're saying still no interest rate hikes in the near future? Keep that in mind, because at some point in time when inflation does get out of hand, and at some point it will, if prices keep rising, what is the Fed going to do? They're going to have to raise interest rates in order to stave off that inflation. So keep these things in mind as we look at what's going on in the market. Now, I'm going to bring up the market timing graph, all right? And actually, I'm going to do it a different way. Let's go to our watch list. Where's my watch list? Let's go to our watch list. Viewers, watch list viewer, here's our stocks for this week, which is, interestingly enough, 121.21. This is the only time that's going to happen. 121.22. Maybe next year it'll be 122.22 and then 123.23. Anyway, 121.21. And the two stocks that we're going to look at for timing the market are going to be the VVC, for those of you who are VectorVest subscribers, and for those of you who are not for timing the market, we're going to look at the spiders. All right, so as we look at these two, we're going to highlight them. We're going to view the stock graph. Let's go take a look. This is the market, folks. Whether it's the VectorVest composite or the spiders, this is the market. I'm going to take off graph layouts. Let's go bring on my main layout. There we go. And put this on a 3-month graph. What you're looking at here is a 20-day exponential moving average on the VectorVest composite. Remember, it tracks the movement of over 8,400 stocks. The market is definitely trending higher. You know something? I'm looking to see if the market breaks down below that level of the 20-day exponential moving average, but definitely moving higher. There's no doubt in my mind. It'll keep going up. But that's a good key indicator, looking at the VVC to see if it breaks below that 20-day exponential moving average. And looking at the spiders, same kind of scenario. I do have support and resistance on my graph as well. And it's moving up higher and higher and hitting still all-time highs. What do you do? Listen, if the market is toppy, tighten stops. If the market keeps going up, you tighten your stops, you're going to still stay in your stocks. All right? So you need to put some defensive mechanism on. Now, I'm going to show you something else. A customer wrote this in to me about the market timing graph. Where is it at? The market timing graph. I want to show you last year, between November 2019 to February 2020, look at what the market did. Look at where we're looking at November 2020 to January 2021. We've got a lot of the same looking graph right now prior to, that was COVID though. But the market is looking toppy. Here's our indicator that tells us the market is looking toppy prior to COVID. And now the market's still been looking toppy. All this is news driven with the market moving up. Keep in mind, what goes up must come down. So all I'm telling you to trade this current market the way that it is right now is just tighten stops, be careful, keep your head off the swivel, stay focused, stay focused. That is the best guidance that I can give you right now without trying to scare you. There's no doom and gloom. All I'm telling you is setting up the facts of what's going on behind the market. It is news driven. There are things that are driving it higher, but what goes up must come down. So that, for me, folks, is the market overview. Joey, do I have any specific questions?
What is your setting for support and resistance?
The question is, what is my support? What is my settings for support and resistance? If I go over to support and resistance, and I go over, I right click on it, click on change settings. Let me show you what I have set up. I'm looking back 1 year, or about 300 bars. The number of touches to support a line for resistance or support is 2 touches. The size of reversals are strong. The size of the resistance zones are thin. Broken and unbroken lines will show up. And that is my settings for support and resistance. I believe it's probably the industry standard. But I want you to take a look at what happened about a year ago compared to now. We are poised and set for a market pullback or correction. One of the two, don't know what's going to happen, but we are poised for a pullback at least. Any other questions, Joey?
Dimka asked, what is a good ETF for lithium?
What is a good, you talk about the ETF, the ETF for a Bitcoin?
Lithium.
Well, is that a battery or is that the lithium for Bitcoin or a cryptocurrency? If it's for battery, I'd have to take a look and find out. But if it's for Bitcoin, I'm going to talk about that today, an ETF for Bitcoin. All right? All right, let's get to the next story. Thank you for the questions, by the way. Let's get to the next story. And the next story happens to be about cryptocurrency. Big pullback in cryptocurrency. Joey, bring the chat over for me for a second. How many people were adversely affected by cryptocurrency? Type of me in the room. Type of me in the room. Now, the reason why I ask this question is as I've been talking about Bitcoin, all of my stories that I've done on Bitcoin have always started off by saying that Bitcoin is a speculative play. It is a speculative play, but it is giving you a great opportunity to make money. This is why stops are important. All right. And again, it's not about just telling you what stocks are out there. Our job is to show you how to trade these stocks and not get beat when an industry goes down. A couple of things need to happen. One, when you're investing in stocks, don't put the crux of your money into any one industry at any given time. Always spread your money evenly, because if that industry looks great, you make a lot of money. When it doesn't look good and you have a lot of money, a lot of your full capital tied up into it, you're going to get hurt. All right. So a lot of people said I see Mark says, I'm scared of it. I don't understand it. And you know something? If you're not sure about an industry or a vehicle that you're investing in, you probably want to learn about it before you put your money behind it. That is my opinion in regards to that. But the story says Bitcoin crumbles even as good news rolls in. The new presidential administration has brought with it a freeze on what had been a last-minute bit of rulemaking on the outgoing Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. The proposal by Mnuchin and team would have put a bit more of a regulatory squeeze on crypto by requiring exchanges to extract detailed personal information from anyone trying to withdraw their holdings on hosted wallets. So there was going to be, at some point in time, what's going to help crypto get to its point is when there is some regulation and the government's got their hands in it a little bit more. But as I scroll down, stocks to watch in Bitcoin are GBTC, Marathon, RIOT, of which we've talked about a lot. Some of these stocks that we don't track are here as well, but we're going to talk about a couple of stocks within the field, but I'm also going to show you one ETF that you can use for the whole space. All right, I'm going to get back into the software. All right, and as I do that, let's get back into my watch list of stocks. How do I do that? Is that the right one, Joey? Click the right one? I hope I did. Here's my watch list. And so I'm going to look at 3 Bitcoin or crypto stocks. Now, the first thing I want to tell you, when I look at this watch list of stocks, we're going to look at a total of 14 stocks, of 2 we already looked at. For the new people in the room, when you create a watch list within the VectorVest software, the stocks will automatically be sorted by our master indicator, VST, which stands for value, safety, and timing. The stocks that have the best combination of relative value, relative safety, and relative timing will automatically migrate to the top of the list. All right? So Tesla's going to be a story that we're going to talk about. Notice that it's at the top of the list by that indicator. What are we talking about right now? Cryptocurrency. Here are the 3 stocks that I'm going to talk about. Mara, RIOT, BTCS, and I'm going to add one more. And it may not be in the story, but I'm going to add one more, which is Block, which is a way to look at the whole deal. All right, so Mara, RIOT, BTCS. Where's Block? There's Block. Block is the only one that's up towards the top. So I'm going to utilize the VectorVest indicators to help you to understand what's good or bad about cryptocurrency right now. Mara, RIOT, and BTCS are the 3 main ones that we track in the VectorVest software. Now, we give a value to every stock, what we feel the stock is currently worth. Mara is trading at $17.94 with a value of $7.09. How do we get the value? Well, we look at things like earnings per share and earnings growth rate to apply a value or what we feel the stock is worth. This helps us to identify stocks that are either over or under their value. Most people use PE ratios, but we don't do that. We use value. It gives a more specific point of reference of really understanding what a stock is currently worth. Currently trading over its value, so Mara is overvalued. RIOT is trading at $19.65. Look at that value, $1.52. Now, because the stock is overvalued, does that make it a bad stock? The answer to that is no. It just means that people are willing to pay a premium to own the stock higher than what it's currently worth. And if enough people are willing to do that, it will drive the stock's price higher. All right, the next one is BTCS, trading at $1.38. It's only worth 3 cents. Now, a lot of you will say, man, this is crazy. I know so much more about cryptocurrency than you do, and it's a long-term play, and I'm not going to listen to any of that. All right, that's up to you. My job is to bring you the information. My job is to help you to make sure that when you're investing in the market, you're investing in something that's helping you to make money now. If I'm looking to the future and I'm willing to hold through a pullback because I feel what I think I know about the stock is good, that's up to you. I would rather be in a stock that's making money, and when it's not making money, take my money out and put it into another stock that's making money. And if cryptocurrency does pull back and then it goes back up, I'll wait for a better opportunity to get back in. I'd rather keep my portfolio rolling on the positive side than to sit on negative equity trying to wait for the long term for the stock to go up. There'll be other opportunities. You ever heard the song, The Gambler? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing is done. The market doesn't have to be a gamble if you know how to time when to get in and out of a stock. So notice, today's prices, all of them are down. All of them are down, and for the most part, cryptocurrencies is taking a bigger hit. Let's look at relative value. The stock's under a long time upside potential. On a scale between 0 and 2, below 1. A AAA corporate bond should outperform Mara over the next 1 to 3 years. Look at RIOT. Look at the relative value, 0.42, below the value of 1. A AAA corporate bonds should outperform RIOT over the next 1 to 3 years. Look at the relative value on BTCS, 0.01. All of these stocks should be outperformed by a AAA corporate bond over the next 1 to 3 years. The safety, which looks at the risk of a stock, all three below 1. All three of these stocks are risky stocks by way of the VectorVest software. Now, I saw a comment that someone says, well, you guys don't look out 100 years to see the long-term potential. Heck no, I don't look out 100 years. What am I trying to help you? Find the stocks to get into now or to stay away from for a little bit and wait for a better opportunity. And all of these stocks right now have an RT below 1. RT looks at the stock's short-term price trend. Is the stock going up or down in price? So you know something? For everyone out there who disagrees with me, I respect that. For all of you who are telling me that, man, this is going to go up in the future, I respect that. But my job is to help you to make money now. Is this making money for you now? Well, let's come back to block in a second. I'm going to right-click. Let's go look at the graphs. All right, these stocks have been on a tear. These stocks have been on a tear, but look at that. So how is a good time to know when to get out of a stock? Well, if a stock is running rampant, I would like to use a shorter moving average to get me out of it a lot quicker. Let's do this. I'm going to put on the 8 exponential moving average. It did a great job to keep you in the stock, keep you in the stock, keep you in the stock. Boom. It fell right here on 120 a couple of days ago, yesterday. Yesterday. Would you rather get out of the stock then or still be in it right now? Better yet, if I want to even track it closer, put a 3 moving average. That's a lot closer. When did it actually close below the 3-day moving average? Here. That was on 113. Was that a good opportunity to get out? Sure was. But even on these days back here when it was running, when it started running, no days did it close below the 3 exponential moving average. That's a tight stop. Even here, red candle, still closed above the 3, closed above the 3, closed below the 3. On something that's really rocketing, I would use a shorter term moving average to capture profits and not get hit when this happens. So that's on Mara. Let's use the same moving average and let's go put it on RIOT. RIOT, let's see, ran, look at that. Even on the pullback days, didn't close below, it closed below right here. Even though it went back up, man, you could have gotten back in the next day if you wanted to, if you wanted to double dip. But here was the day that it closed below, and that was on 111. And the stock went back up. They say, see, your program sucks because it went back up. Yeah, and look at what it did. Would you rather take profits off the table or give it all back then? So the choice is yours. I'm just pointing it out. Nothing more. I'm not going to argue with you. My job is to present you with the opportunities to make the money at the right time. And maybe you say, well, I don't want to use, that's too tight a stop. All right, let's do this. I'm going to throw in a 10 exponential. And there you go. Still, nonetheless, I can get out and still be able to capture some profits on the stock prior to where it is right now. Look at that. RT went below 1. The stock is officially in a downtrend. Let's go back up tomorrow. RT is just at 1. Up is below 1. The stock's in a downtrend. Now, let's get to the BTCS. Wow. Looking at the 10 exponential, I wouldn't be getting out until today. A lower dollar stock, a lot more volatile. That would have hurt. There's no way of getting around that. That would have hurt. But I'm going to show you one ETF. Here's an ETF that tracks the whole industry. So if you want to take advantage of cryptocurrency without getting involved with one individual stock, this does a great job. Still looking at the 10 exponential moving average. Look at that. Look at that big pullback right there on that date. The moving average still keeping you in it, keeping you in it. It closed down below yesterday. This is a good time to say when it's okay or not okay to be in cryptocurrency. And this is a good stock, a good ETF for cryptocurrency to help you to time when to be in and when to be out of crypto. All right, so that's my crypto story. And all I want, if you got something to comment about, by all means, use the comment button. I want to hear what you've got to say. I still call it a speculative play. It gave you a great opportunity. Will it give you another opportunity to make money again? It probably will. But I'd rather you get in instead of trying to catch the falling knife and start to dollar cost average down, use that money to go buy another stock. Darshan says, what is the importance of using an EMA versus a simple? The EMA, the exponential moving average, tracks a price a little closer than the simple. So it will get me in and out of the stock a little faster, Darshan. Marshall says, how do you add a stock's earnings date to the stock viewer? Go down to the bottom. You can see when the earnings... You won't be able to. You won't be able to add the earnings date on a graph. You have to go to our viewers. Let me see if I can get you there. You have to go to our viewers. And you can go to, from the viewers tab, the events viewer down here. All right. Go. Huh? Okay. Go to the events viewer. And now I can view all the earnings date. Let's just highlight just the earnings date. So I'm going to take off the dividend pay dates. I'm going to take off the dividend execution dates. And as of today, here's all of the stock's earnings that are coming out. All right. And if I want to view an individual stock, give me a stock. Joey, give me a stock. Any stock you want. HIL. HIL. Type in HIL. And no results. This is 121 to 421. Let's go back in time a little bit. Let's go to October 21st. There it is. Hilton paid earnings on November 10th of 2020. And then November, December, January, should be sometime in February where the next earnings date is going to come out. But you'll notice that it won't show me yet until they publish when their next earnings date will come out. Then it will pop up in this viewer. Any other questions, Joey?
Johnny D has something earlier.
Why the EMA 10 versus the 8? ST, it all depends on to you which moving average is best fit to you. All right? Can anyone attest to how well VectorVest timing works? Hey, VV Nation, Johnny D is asking a question. Talk to Johnny D. Talk to Johnny D about his question. Can anyone attest to our market timing? All right. Okay, we're good? All right. Are you still doing what I asked you to do? Cool beans. All right. Let's go back to the viewers. Go back to my watch list viewer. That was my story on cryptocurrency. And again, after this video comes out, I'd be really interested to hear your take on cryptocurrency. I've given you my information, and I've used the VectorVest software to back it up. All right, let's get into my next story. My next story is clean energy. Now, when we talk about clean energy, we normally talk about Tesla and NIO and a lot of the EV companies. I'm here to tell you that clean energy doesn't only look at electrical vehicles, even though that's the stuff that's making the news, but we also look at wind, we look at water, we look at solar. All of these things are part of clean energy, and clean energy right now seems to be something to actually keep your money into. Tesla Model Y deliveries in China have officially begun. Now, who are they going against? Tesla's the big boy, but who are they going against who already manufactures and delivers cars into China? NIO. NIO is based out of China, and their cars are coming out as well. So the car that's going up against the Tesla Model Y is the NIO, what is it? I wrote it down, the NIO ES6. The NIO ES6. And I did some analysis on the two different cars. The Tesla car has got a longer range. It's got a range of 316 miles compared to a range of 229 miles for the NIO car. And again, that's the ES6 compared to the Tesla Y. The ES6 is about $10,000 less than the Tesla. In China, it's going to run about $39,000, where the Tesla is selling for about $49,000. The battery power on the NIO is about 84 kilowatts, whereas the Tesla is only 72 kilowatts. So that's just some background between the two cars that are competing in the China space for electric vehicles. NIO has got a little bit of an edge because it is manufactured in China, whereas Tesla's got to deliver their cars to China, but they've at least started delivering their cars into China. So that was the story. There it is, 339,000 yuan, about $52,000. But I think that that's the Tesla car sitting about that price. China is critically important to Tesla and its growth plans as it seeks to increase its vehicle sales volume from 500K in 2020 to 20 million. That's over the next decade, over the next 10 years. So they are really pushing China. China's got a lot more people, and they're really interested in the electric cars. NIO's got a little bit of a head start because they are manufactured in China. So Tesla is one of the stories, always one of the stories, along with NIO. But how about this? Ideal Power. Gosh darn it, Joey.
ICLEAN and
IPWR. And this is an interesting story. Significant B-TRAN benefits in numerous electric vehicles, renewable energy, data center applications. So even though it's still getting into that whole space of the EV space, but iPower is a stock that's kicking butt and taking names, and it could be a disruptor. The white paper describes how its patented proprietary bidirectional semiconductor power switch architecture drives performance, efficiency, and cost savings in key emerging and mature markets. A lot of these EVs are going to be looking at the ability for companies, power switches, to be able to utilize this kind of technology. So this is on the same page for me as an XROF, which is looking at the electric motor overall. I'm thinking that all of these EVs, all at some point's got to circle back around. The XROF was another good stock to keep your eyes on. But iPower up 57%, and that's off of this main story where renewable energy, data center applications, so not just EVs, but again, renewable energy, they can be in that whole clean energy space. So when I looked at these stocks, I looked at a couple of different things. I looked at ICLEAN, which is a great ETF to track the whole industry. ICLEAN looks at all of the clean energy stocks in one ticker symbol. So if you don't want to put your money in Tesla or in NIO or in iPower or into JK Solar or Run Power, all of those different things, here's a safe way to play the whole industry as an ETF, ICLEAN. Another stock in here, as I mentioned, was iPower. NIO is in here, and Tesla is in here. In that list, sorted by VST, what's at the top of the list? Tesla. Tesla's the big boy, and you know something? The stock is clearly overvalued, but the stock's got good upside potential. It is overall a good safe stock. It is in an uptrend. They grow their earnings at a clip of 45% a year. Tesla really is the big boy when it comes to the EVs. ICLEAN is an ETF, so all I'm really looking for is it an uptrend? RT on ICLEAN is at 1.83. That ETF is in an uptrend. And notice that iPower, big move up, 58% move today, clearly way over its value. Is it a safe stock? No. Does it have real good upside potential as compared to AAA corporate bond? No. Do they have positive earnings? No. Do they have positive earnings growth? No. So Tesla is still the stronger long-term play. iPower is more of a trade, and moving up today, I'd be careful with it. All right, I'd be careful with it. NIO, clearly overvalued, upside potential, not there yet either. Even though it's trying to compete on the same level as Tesla, it's not there yet. Is it a safe stock compared to Tesla? No, it's a more risky stock, but what's helping NIO right now, it's still in an uptrend. It's got negative earnings per share, but it's getting less negative because they grow their earnings at a positive clip of 19% a year. Folks, all I'm giving you is a difference between data and useful information. That's the benefit of you being here, to get your full understanding on what's going on with stocks that are making the news. All right. So before I get into the graphs, especially if you're new, if you like what you're hearing right now, hit the like button. Number one. Number two, if you're new and you still like the content, subscribe to the channel. This is information that we give you on an ongoing basis every week, folks. So if you subscribe to the channel and smash the bell icon, you will get an alert when new content comes up. I'd like to see some new subscribers today, at least subscribers to the channel. Now, one more thing before I look at the graphs. If you want to be able to do a lot of the things that I'm doing right here, we are offering a trial to the VectorVest software, 99 cents for 30 days. Everything that I'm showing right here, you will be able to do with that 99-cent trial. You will be able to look at graphs. You will be able to analyze stocks the same way that I'm doing right here, build your own watch lists, and make better decisions on the stocks that you currently own. Let the VectorVest software help you manage your trades. 99 cents for 30 days. Take it. Joey put a link in the room for you. You can click on it to take advantage of it. Folks, that's all I got to say about that. Let's go look at the graphs. All right, here's my stocks for this space. Look at that. 3-month graph. Tesla was, actually, this is the ICLEAN. Let's go put on, where's my 10-day exponential? There it is. Look at that. The industry overall got hit and closed below the value of the 10 exponential on 115. But look at that, it's rising back up again. Would you rather, if you were in it somewhere back here, would you rather take your profits here or hold through that and wonder, oh my gosh, is it going to go back up? Look at how many days it pulled off of that high before it's starting to move back up again. It's starting to ramp back up as far as the indice is concerned. All right, RT is still above 1. Volume is leveling out. I'd like to see it come back up above the average volume. iPower, big move today, but a lot of give back. There's a lot of give back, and that's a lot of profit taking. The stock was trading at about a little less than $10 yesterday. It jumped all the way up to a high of $17. You think people didn't take their profits? Absolutely. That's what's going on with that today. All right. Are you showing the relative value and relative safety that the fundamentals behind the stock are not there? All right. This is profit taking. All right. Next one, NEO pulling back off of that high, just like ICLEAN did, the whole industry ETF. It pulled back. It's not running as quickly as ICLEAN is, but it is above that 10-day exponential moving average. Let's even do it better. Let's go put on the 20. That gives you a little bit more room. The 20 gives you a little bit more room. And the last stock, wow, Tesla's the big boy. It's just moving sideways. It's just moving sideways. If I'm looking for an opportunity to get back into Tesla, let's see if we can take out that high first. Because the stock is trading at such a high value, I would think about playing options on Tesla to leverage your money. But look at that graph. The graph is worth 1,000 words right there. That's why it's the big boy. All right. So that's my story on clean energy this week. Any questions, Joey? As Joey clears his throat, let him clear his throat.
No questions, just a lot of comments.
A lot of comments. ICLEAN, iPower is fired. Thank you, Sam Penny. I hope I said that right. What is the ticker on ICLEAN? It's ICLN. Let's go back to it. There it is. That's the whole industry. Without having to play an individual stock, that's the whole industry. On a 20-day exponential moving average, which gives you a little bit more room to stay in the stock, that's the difference between a 10 and a 20. A 20 will get you out faster, captures your profits a little faster. All right? And again, I look forward for your comments after the videos are released. Let me know what you think. You know something? I'm going to put out a poll in the room. Do you think clean energy still has a long way to go? Type a yes or a no in the room. And you know something? I'd like to see that in the comments after the videos are released. Do you think clean energy still has a long way to go? Put in a yes or a no. IEA has been my highest growth stock found on guess where? VectorVest, last August, forever grateful. Thank you for that, Liana. Thank you for that. All right. Wow, a lot of people are saying yes, that they think that clean energy is going to go up. And if that's the case, folks, if you're new to this whole space, you might want to consider looking at ICLEAN as a stock to get into. You'll thank me later, especially my new people in the room. You'll thank me later. But don't ever lose sight of how to trade it. Look at something like a 10 or a 20 exponential moving average to help you get in and out at the right times. All right? All right, so that's my clean energy story. I'm going to stick to it. Let's get to my next story. Next story is going to be dealing with COVID. COVID is still hot and heavy in the world, right? Now, this is a cool story because it brings some realism to what's going on with COVID, right? Inconsistent supply is the biggest challenge to COVID vaccine rollout. And that's a New Jersey hospital CEO. Well, you know, New York, New Jersey has been a hotbed for COVID-19. And they're saying that the inconsistent supply is the biggest challenge. Well, think about it. We're going to, right now, try to inoculate 1 million people a day for the first 100 days. That's going to be 100 million inoculations. Is the logistics in place to get all those inoculations out? Now, recently I was at the VA. I went to the VA for an appointment. And outside of my appointment was a long line of older people, right, because they're first on the list, getting their vaccinations. As the VA goes through their list, I'm going to be somewhere in there, and they'll invite me to come get my shot. All right? But the inconsistent supply, I need to dig a little deeper to see if there's more meat to the story, or is this just talk? All right, but I think that that goal of 1 million shots a day is big. All right, the demand is there, but is the supply there? We know that Pfizer's out there with a vaccine. mRNA is out there with a vaccine. We're going to talk about. We've been talking about a couple of other companies that are out there. But they're out there, all right? Do they have the wherewithal to put enough vaccine out there? And that's what this story is about. But now, here's Pfizer. Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine found to be effective against COVID variant discovered in UK. So there's been 2 variations of the COVID vaccine in the UK and in Africa. And I said that last week, mRNA, which was my stock of choice in this space, is already able to counteract the African variant, and Pfizer here is saying that they can counteract the UK variant. And I think that that's important, that these companies are up on the evolutionary changes that are going to come with any vaccine. The flu is a virus. And guess what? We get inoculated against flu strain A or B. I think that's going to happen with when it comes down to the coronavirus vaccine. Hey, Glenn, when is the last time you've seen the MTI this high? Hasn't been. I believe we're hitting all-time highs on both the MTI and on the buy-to-sell ratio. This is more fodder to the idea that the market is way overcooked. All right, it really is. And that's why I showed you that original graph that showed you what we look like at this time last year, where we look at right now, just to give you an idea. Folks, I just want you to be focused on what's going on in the market. Don't get caught up in all of the hype. There's a lot of hype out there. I need you guys to protect yourselves. Tighten stops on the stocks that you own. For all the new people that are just coming into the room, I want to say thank you for joining us today. But we've been talking a lot about what's going on in the market and what stocks are making news in the market. And we're using the power of the VectorVest software to go after whether or not these are stocks that you want to be in. So that gets you caught up real quick on what's going on, because people keep coming in and out all throughout the presentation. You don't want to forget those people who are just recently coming in. All right, and don't forget, you can ask questions. Joey's pointing out all of the questions that he really needs me to answer, so we're trying to do the best we can for that. And one last story on the coronavirus front is Abbott. Abbott's COVID-19 antigen tests may help with faster detection, isolation, says the CDC, which I think is amazing. All right, so now we do have the rapid tests that are out there. As a matter of fact, right across the street from our office, they set up a tent for a rapid test, all right, which is kind of important. But the rapid COVID-19 test, antigen test, is highly likely to correctly detect if people have ever contracted the virus and could help with earlier isolation, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Being able to find out in a quicker fashion if you had it. And you know something? I think that a lot of us may have been exposed to it, may have actually had it, but we're asymptomatic. Just like any virus, no matter what you're going to do, you're going to get it. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The vaccine will help to protect us against it. All right. But and the way to find out is if you did have it, you'll have antibodies already created in your body for it. All right. So they can take a blood test and find out if you've got the antibodies. If you do, that means you've had it. That means you've had it. And maybe you were asymptomatic and you didn't, you did not have the symptoms. But I think that the idea of this company, Abbott Labs, being able to test and get the faster detection and then actually find out from an isolation, how to isolate a little quicker, I think that that's great. The several rapid antigen tests have been approved by the U.S. FDA for emergency use, but data lacks on test performance in asymptomatic people, according to the team of scientists, response team in the Arizona Department of Health and Services. So this is a stock to keep your eye on. Abbott's Binax Now antigen test has a sensitivity of 64% for specimens from symptomatic people and only 35% for specimens from asymptomatic people. So still, more work needs to be done. It's great at finding infectious people. And this Pima County study demonstrates that Binax Now is 92.6% effective in identifying positive cases. A lot of times you'll get a positive negative. What is it, a negative positive? A false positive. This is a good case to if you've got it, it won't give the false positive. All right. So let's go take a look at these stocks in my list. All right, let's start off with BioNTech is here. And somebody asked me if Pfizer is out there and it's got the wherewithal to be put out as a vaccine, why is it falling so much? I did a story not too long ago that there's a lot of competition in the space now. More and more companies are getting close to the vaccine. A couple of companies besides Pfizer are out there with the vaccine, and that's why that's happening. BNTX, and where's my last one? Abbott, ABT. BioNTech in the top half of the list, Abbott in the bottom, and Pfizer is the worst. All right, let's go look at long-term price appreciation. BioNTech has got good upside potential. Abbott's got good upside potential. And Pfizer, on the other hand, even though, and Pfizer was one of the companies that didn't take government money in Operation Warp Speed. They did it on their own. Interesting, right? They did it on their own. A lot of the other companies like mRNA did take money for the government for Operation Warp Speed to put this, to get their vaccine out there. But Pfizer did it all by itself. Positive earnings, but negative earnings growth rate. BioNTech, on the other hand. So put the two together. Pfizer, BioNTech is working together. Good earnings. Look at that. $15 on a $106 stock. Grow their earnings at a clip of 31%. Abbott Labs, good upside potential, good safety. Positive earnings, grows their earnings at a clip of 9%. If I look at these stocks, which one would I go with right now? Out of these three stocks, let's go take a look. BNTX. Ooh, I'm a little slow right now. So while I'm slow, I'm going to tell a joke. A horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Why the long face?" Boom, boom. All right, so that's my joke. Oh, man, what's happening to the software, Joey?
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything.
You probably did something to it.
That's what I got to say about that.
Broke it.
Wow, that's interesting. Let's go see if the next stock shows up. PFE. Abbott. That's interesting. What time is it? 2:48? Let's go try that again. Right click. View the stock graph. Interesting. The software wants to act up a little bit. This is not something that happens all the time. This is the first time it's ever happened on a live stream. Interesting. Well, without me being able to see the graphs, it's going to cause me an issue. Except for I can still analyze the stock.
They're still moving.
And I know they are still moving. BioNTech is up 3% today. Abbott is up about 1/10%, where Pfizer is down today. Interesting. All right, let me go just highlight another stock. View the stock graph. Something's going on with the software.
Sassy says not able to log into the software.
Oh, something happened. I know it's still moving on our side.
We'll just open that graph up and move it over to another window, and then just continue how you can.
All right. Let's go see if I can do it. Oh, no, I can't. If I bring up PFE, I'm still going to have a problem, even on this graph. Sorry about that, folks. I'm not sure. Something's going on with the software.
Where's Boston?
Okay, yeah, Boston's not here. This is the first time in a live stream that this has ever happened with the software. That's very interesting. And for that, we do apologize. We do apologize. Actually, I apologize. I'm not sure what I can do about that as far as looking at graphs without me.
Just analyze it there and then.
Are you going to check and see? Yeah. All right, Joey's going to check and see if there's anything going on with the software. All right, he took away my chat. Where's my chat? Why does he do that? Where's my chat? There it is. Haha, he doesn't know that I can pull up chat on my own. All right, I got my chat. Come on, Glenn. Need new glasses? I don't need new glasses. I'm fine. All right, so.
What should we do? Is that like a restart or is that?
No, I'm not going to do a restart. Somebody's telling me to do a restart. I'm not doing a restart. Hello, Murillo. Mine is working too. All right, let's go try it again. Let's go look at BN text. Read a graph. Let's see if it pops up now. I'm not going to do a restart of the software. It's going to take me too long. Yeah. Steve Chappell is telling me to log out and log back in. Yeah. All right, it says the server's down. All right. Hey, Joey.
Server's down.
The server's down. Yeah, Steve Chappell just let me know the server's down. That sucks. Oh, all right. So it's going to give me, it's not going to be, we won't be able to look at your stocks at the end of the day. For that, I apologize as well. We won't be able to look at the graphs. Man, this has never happened on a live stream, but this is, I've got almost 500 videos, 500 live streams that I've done. This has not happened on one live stream until now. Very interesting. David, so we'll do it this way. I'm going to do my other story, do my last story, which is on retail stocks, and I'm going to still be able to analyze your stocks at the end of the day. So we'll still do it. All right. New consoles for video games. How many of you got your children or grandchildren a PS5 for Christmas or an Xbox? All right. Pandemic new consoles push video game sales to new December record, 7.7 billion. That's a lot. That's a lot. Todd says retail boring, but retail's moving. Retail's moving. You know, sometimes the boring places are good places to make money. You know something? Let the industry be boring. Let the topic be boring. But if it can make me some money, I'm going to make some money. So new sales on that. And with that, I got to go. And with that, I'm going to go to GameStop. I've got the ticker symbol for GameStop up there. Sony is up here as well. GM in the retail space. This is an interesting story. GM stock soars towards another record after Microsoft partnership on driverless cars. I had to put this story in there. GM's self-driving vehicle startup Cruise, all right, that's the name of it, Cruise, to be valued at $30 billion after $2 billion equity investment by Microsoft. This is going to be very interesting. All right, this is something to keep your eyes on. And one last thing for retail, Amazon Prime member total reach is 142 million. How many of you are Amazon Prime members? I am. I know that I am. But 142 million in the U.S. with more shoppers opting in for a full year. Man, Amazon. And you know something? You know what I don't like about Amazon is when they deliver your packages, because now they just drop them off at the door. They just drop them off at the door, whether it's raining on anything. They just drop off the door and leave. I'm like, that ain't cool. I got to open up my door just to see that I got an Amazon package or that my wife got an Amazon package. I think it's my wife that's totally making Amazon profitable. All right. My children, 5, we are all in it and we love Amazon. I've got Amazon too. So it's working now. Now the graphs. All right. So that's my retail story. Let's go to BioNTech. Let's highlight these again. Abbott and what was my last one? PFE. Let's highlight them. View the stock graph. There they are. They are working now. All right. So real quick, if I'm looking at my coronavirus stocks, BioNTech above the 10-day exponential moving average, moving sideways. All right. What else is in the space? Abbott, I like with that story talking about its rapid tests being a lot more effective. It does have a level of resistance sitting at 112.73. It is above it today. Let's see if we can get some more follow through. It closed above yesterday. It closed above today. If you're not in it, I'd look to get in about 12 cents higher than the high. I also like that relative timing just went above 1. This may not be a bad play. And the last one is Pfizer. Pfizer, with all of the vaccine out there, they are getting beaten up by the competition. The vaccine is there. Everything is good about it except for what's going on in regards to the stock. All right, so keeping that in mind. And last but not least, let's go take a look at my stocks for the retail: GM, GameStop, and what was the last one? Amazon. Amazon. Did I not put Amazon in here, Joey? Sigh. I don't think I did. AMZN. I'll put Amazon in there now. All right, so it was GM, Amazon, and GameStop. Look at all three of them together. These are my retail stocks. All three of them together. Let's go view their graphs. If I'm looking at them, which ones would I like? GM, I'm liking that story about the Cruise, the autonomous vehicles rocking around the Christmas. Oh, it's too late for Christmas. All right, but anyway, big pullback today, but generally above the 10-day exponential moving average. Love the volume on it, too. RT is above 1. Amazon, man, such a big company, but a lot of gyrations back and forth, up and down and up and down. And this is on a 6-month graph. Right now, if I'm going to think about pulling the trigger on Amazon, I'd wait to see if it can get above that level of 33.5578 before I pull it. All right, before I pull it. And last but not least is GameStop. Everybody loves GameStop. You like GameStop? That's where you go to get your games from. I like it. Overall, steady riser up. A little bit more volatility here. If I'm not in the stock, I'd wait to go 12 cents higher than 45.52. All right. So that's all my stories. Any questions? Any questions? I'm writing down some of these stocks because I'm getting ready. Oh, you did. All right. How many are boycotting Amazon after they put Parler out of business? Well, I ain't talking about that in here, John. This ain't the place for it. This ain't the place for it. I'm not going for it. All right. So I only want to talk about stocks. I will not do politics in here. I will not do politics in here. Glenn, if you keep your window open, Amazon will deliver the package inside your home via drone. They might. They might. All right. So everybody's already starting to do it. Here we go. I'm looking at what time it is. I'm trying to keep on point with you. All right. So Joey's going to rattle off some stocks real quick for me. Go ahead, Joey.
Let's go with T.
AT&T.
ZOM.
ZOM.
BIL.
ZO. Nope. I'm going to put in Zoom. I don't have ZOM.
Okay. BILI.
BILI.
DXY.
DXY.
GBTC.
GPT. I'm not gonna. I don't have GBTC. That's the Bitcoin.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
BFT.
BFT.
PDD.
Pinduoduo.
FLGT.
Flugent.
J&J.
Johnson & Johnson.
And then MOTS.
MOTS.
TJX.
TJ Maxx.
BLDR.
BL Builder. That's a good one to look at.
ATVI.
ATVI. Activision.
UMC.
UMC in the place to be. He went to St. John's University. Oh, go ahead.
FLL.
FL.
L.
Okay.
CLPT.
CLPT.
Dash.
DASH.
Let's do DQ.
The Clean Energy.
BA.
Bank of America. Oh, Boeing, sorry.
And one more. FIW.
FIW. All right. Those are my stocks I'm going to look at today. I always like looking at them on a 3-month graph. Why? Because what happens every 3 months with a stock, is going to be earnings. Earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. How do you select multiple stocks that aren't together in a graph? All I did was type in the stock, separated by comma, A, B, C, D, E, F. Just like that, separated by comma, hit the enter key, and all the graphs will pop up. All right? So let's start with AT&T. Perfect in the 5G space right now, but if I look at AT&T the way it's going right now, the stock is moving sideways, traveling in between, in and out of levels of support and resistance, but looking at channel, volume is starting to fade off. That makes sense as the stock is pulling sideways. Now, the earnings growth rate is declining, all right, but earnings per share is declining. That's interesting when you look at a stock, a strong company like AT&T. If earnings, which is the engine that drives the stock's price higher, starts to decline, you need to keep your eye on a stock like that, especially if you own it. Now, if you're trying to hold it long term, earnings is the engine that really does drive a stock's price higher, and if it's falling, you got to keep that in mind. All right, Glenn, but you did live in Queens. I did live in Queens. I used to live in Hollis, and I used to live in Jamaica, Queens. I did. All right, so just put that out there. Let's go to the next stock. Whew, Zoom. Now, somebody said ZOM. I don't track ZOM. All right, Zoom was a good coronavirus candidate while everybody was, out of commission, whether it was churches, whether it's meetings. Zoom was the stock to get into. Look at what's going on right now with it. All right, are we getting close to reopening and then people are not using Zoom as much? I don't know. But look at the downtrend from October of 2020. Has it had its opportunities to run? Yeah, bouncing off support, got to that trend line. Bounced up, got to that trend line. Recently, got to that trend line. That trend line, if I'm going to try to be long-term on Zoom, I need the stock to clear that downtrend before I'm long-term on Zoom. But there are some positive aspects. The company is growing their earnings, and the earnings growth looks good. Stock, what's hurting it right now is that indicator RT, which tells me if a stock is in an uptrend or not, has been in a downtrend since, let's go peep that out, has been in a downtrend since 12/1 of 2020. Look at that. How about having an indicator that tells you when a stock's in a downtrend and look at it? Look at that stock. So I'm looking for a couple of things for Zoom. I'm looking to see if it can break above that trend line and RT go above 1. All right. And for 99 cents, you can look at this on your VectorVest graph the same way that I am. All right. Next one. Wow. Billy. Oh, yeah. That's all the words I know, except for yeah. I don't know what was it? Oh, that's Louie. Not Billy, but Louie. All right. Well, the stock's going up. What concerns me is the earnings per share is going down. So they've got negative earnings per share. The stock's price is going up. In the internet e-commerce, I'm looking at a 20-day exponential moving average, good for long-term swing trade. Does a great job even when the stock's price pulls back. Right now, if you're in it, be careful with it. Don't be afraid to take some profits, especially if you're in it. It's rocking and rolling. When do you want to get out? Use your individual stops or use something like a moving average. If you want to get a little quicker, there's the 10-day exponential moving average. Will lock in your profits a little faster than the 20-day exponential moving average. All right, let's go to the next stock, which is, wow, DAXY. That's the dollar. Now, interesting because that you bring that up. There's another indicator. What is it? UDN for looking at the dollar to the downside or looking for the dollar to the upside is UUP. All right. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it's ideally suited to help you in trading gold. When the dollar is weak, gold tends to go up. When the dollar is strong, like it still is right now, gold tends to go down, which is why gold is a tough play right now. But the dollar index is falling. It's falling. That should be good for gold, but it's bounced up over the last week or so. Actually, it bounced off a level of support, moving sideways. When the stock is moving sideways, moving averages don't work nearly as well. A moving average works when a stock is trending, whether it's up or down, All right. Thank you for that, John. Be careful with DXY. It's just moving sideways right now. Next one, BFT. We just started tracking it. It's a SPAC, a special purpose acquisition company. Clayton DeBert has done a story on SPACs. I've done a story on SPACs on Trending Thursday. It's a good way to get around IPOing. A company gathers up money. They have up to 2 years to buy a company, and that's what a SPAC is all about. Brand new company. It is starting to move up. RT is above 1, but we keep in mind, I don't have a lot of data on it. So because of that, I can't give you a real down-to-earth, guidance on it, except for right now, it's above the 20-day. It's moving up. Volume looks good. RT looks good. Those are the things that I can tell you in regards to it. All right, GMEV is a SPAC. That's not a SPAC. That GMEV going together with Microsoft, that's not a special purpose acquisition as far as I know. That's just two companies coming together to put out an autonomous car. That's what I don't think that that's a SPAC. All right, that's just two companies coming. Or like when Apple Apple and Hyundai are thinking about coming together, all right, to put out a car. So that's what that is. SPAC, just throwing money at something that they will tell you what they plan to do will later. So speculative. Peter, and let me, if you go back into the viewers and look at my story on SPACs, it is going bananas. It is definitely going bananas. So we're getting more, we're almost getting more SPACs than we're getting IPOs. All right. What was that website for SPAC? Oh, man, I don't remember. Do you remember what it was? I don't remember. Look for it's SPAC web. If Joey can find it, I'll put it out there. But that's a great website to see what SPACs are out there and which ones are doing.
Insider, SPAC Track,
No.
SPAC Research,
SPAC analysis.
SPAC Analytics.
Yeah, SPAC Analytics. That's what it was. Let me see if I get to it real quick. Yep, SPAC Analytics. So I'm going to go www.spacanalytics. That's it. Where is it? SPAC Analytics home. This is the site. Joey, as a matter of fact, here. Copy. There it is. I'm going to put it in the chat for you. Paste. There it is. This is a great website for SPACs that are out there. SPACs that are out there. I did a story on this specific website. So there you go. All right, I wanted to put that out there. All right, let's go to the next stock. Pinduoduo, internet e-commerce. E-commerce is rocking. I'm going to show you something else. I know, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. I'm going to go to the Unisearch tool. For those of you who are subscribers, I want you to go to the Delta Searches Industries, 10-day price delta on indices. Because I don't have a lot, some of the people in here are not subscribers, I want to show you something. What's the hottest industry you think over the last 2 weeks? It used to be cryptocurrencies. But look at this, retail consumer electronics, marijuana, cryptocurrencies, defense electronics. Electronics is starting to rock and roll. All right, the top 5 industries over the last 10 days. For those of you who are not subscribers, 99 cents, you will be able to see what the best industries are over any time period you want. All right, so now John says Pinduoduo has crap for earnings. Let's go back to the graphs. Earnings growth is positive, but less positive, and earnings per share is at 5 cents and falling over the last 3 months. I hear you, John. I'm not going to disagree with that, but I'm not going to fight the tape. What's the stock's price doing over the last 3 months? Going up. Currently above the 20-day exponential moving average. Where does it sit, John? In a channel. If I'm going to think about getting into the stock, I'd wait to see if it could break to the upside of the channel. Have a good day, Leanna. I'd wait to see if it can break to the upside of the channel. So I hear you, John, but I will never fight the tape because price action is huge. All right, let's go to the next stock. Fulgent Healthcare Instruments. I did a story on this not too long. I don't remember if I did a story on this or not. And nonetheless, the stock's price moving up the last 2 days. Anybody know what that candlestick pattern is right there? Anybody know what that candlestick pattern is right there? Type it in the room. All right, anybody, if you type it in, I know I got a little bit of a delay, but anybody know what that candlestick pattern is? if you own Fulgent, let's talk about that. All right, it is, and nobody said it. All right, that is a bearish engulfing pattern. And not engulfing harami. I don't think there's a such thing as an engulfing harami, but it's a bullish a bearish engulfing with follow through. Today would be a good day to get out of that stock if you own it. All right. I do like the earnings. I do like the earnings growth, but the stock price is pulling back. The stock price is absolutely pulling back. So be careful with that if you own it. All right. I would be willing, especially after this nice move up, I'd be willing to take some of that profit off the table. If not, take half off of the table, take all off the table. All right. One of the two. All right. Next one. Wow. Johnson & Johnson looks beautiful. Nice stair step effect. Look at that. I can extend this line out. This line. That's a beautiful uptrending stock. Beautiful uptrending stock. If you own the stock, I wouldn't worry about getting out of the stock until it broke through that downtrend. Not until it closed below that downtrend, but that's a beautiful looking equity curve. Earnings growth had a little dip right here, but continued back up. Earnings per share is higher than it was 3 months ago. I like Johnson & Johnson. I like that stock, and I cannot lie. Mott's, woo! That's a little bit of chippy choppy right there. That's a little dicey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got a good show for you today. That's a little dicey. I don't know how many of you caught that reference, and somebody's going to say something, and it's going to be interesting. And if nothing else, you learned a little something about me by that reference right there. You learned just a little bit something about me, but I'm looking at that diciosity. That's a good Glenism. The stock's price is clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. All right, and watch that, pulling back. Yeah. That stock's pulling back right there. Oh, yeah. All right. So, all right. So no, not Tim. No, Tim. No. All right. So, D nice is that you know. All right. Watch the volume, but I do like the earnings growth. The earnings is actually a little bit better than it was 3 months ago. Just be careful with Mott's. 2 big down days. All right. Next one, TJ Maxx. This is sort of like a JCPenney's to me, but not quite. It's moving up. Retail stock, you would think that with the Christmas that it would have ran up, and it did. During the Christmas time, it did go up. A lot of people did go to TJ Maxx. No, stop, John. I just hid that. Can't put that in here. I ain't putting that up in here. Not putting that up in here. All right. But TJX is moving sideways right now. And again, moving averages are not good when a stock's moving sideways, only when a stock is trending up or trending down. TJ Maxx does make money. The earnings per share shows it. The earnings growth rate is solid. It hasn't moved, but the earnings per share is moving up. I do like that. I'd wait to see if it could break above that level of resistance. All right. Next one. Builders. Watch this field. All right, there's another stock that I want you to look at. If you're going to look at that whole industry, I want you to write down NAIL, N-A-I-L. That's a good way to look at builders. Builders look like they want to get on and ramp up again. I've got a little beautiful level of resistance sitting at 42.69. Let's see if the stock's price can break above that before you pull the trigger on it. All right, but earnings growth looks good, earnings per share. Builders are builders, and as long as building is still good, this is a good stock to be in. That's some builders. But the other one I want you to take a look at is NAIL. N-A-I-L. Is it too late to get into DQ? Unless it's in this list, I can't answer that. I'm only looking at the stocks that are in here. So GameStop was in my retail stocks today. Activision, software, whoever out there plays WoW. I used to play World of Warcraft a way long time ago, but that's part of Blizzard Activision. And think about it, a lot of people still working from home. This goes to show you that they're still playing games at home because the stock is still rising. Yeah, Joey. You be playing that Call of Duty at home, don't you? No, yeah. All right. Anyway, Activision's still rising, just coming off of a high. Down day today. I'd wait to see if the stock could break back above that. All right. And I'm with you, Todd, that DQ is good at all times, but I don't know if it's in my list or not today. UMC, United. What is that? Another semiconductor. Told you. Watch semiconductor. There's a few stocks in this space. I want you to look at AMD. Also in this space, I want you to look at NVIDIA. No, not NVIDIA. AMD. I do want you to look at AMD in this space. I want you to look at TSM. in this space, in the semiconductor space. TSM is a stock that I'm probably going to do in the near future, but TSM is a good stock to look at in this space. But UMC looks good. All right, wow. FLL, Full House, steady, slow mover. This is a boring stock. Somebody said something about boring. This is a boring stock, but it makes money. Love that 20-day exponential moving average. It serves as a good level. That would have been a good opportunity to take profits off the table and then jump back in and still keep on running. All right, Glenn, semis have been near the top for RT ranking in industries. How long can it go up? It hasn't been near the top for RT ranking for industries, yes. But when I look at a delta on industries, it's starting to make a run back again. And you know something? How long can it go? I don't know. But if the market is still conducive to an industry or stock moving up, I'm going to tell you to take it. But I will tell you to put tight stops on. All right, where do we see the stop losses on these stocks? So hell, I've said on more than one occasion, stops are very personal to individuals. So does every stock in our software have a built-in stop? Yes. If I go to add parameter, go to capital appreciate price, there's a stop price. And I can put that on a graph. And here's every stock in our database gets a stop price. When the stock's price goes below the stop price, the stock automatically gets a sell. So hell, you can add a stop price to the stock if you want to use that as well. All right, I like the idea of utilizing your own personal stops, but if you want to let VectorVest do it for you, there's the stop price. Absolutely. Let's go look at the next one. CLPT, also new. Look at that stock's price moving up. Broke through a level of resistance of 1650, still moving up. Right now, I'd wait to see if it could take out that high. RT is rising. Look at the earnings growth rate is rising. There's a lot of good things. I don't know anything about this stock, but the stock is definitely moving from day one once it started being tracked in our software. Dash, whoo, high valuations. Remember when Dash came out and who was the other one? The VRB, what was the other stock that came out when DoorDash came out? The travel stock. Somebody help me out here. Somebody help me out. It was DoorDash, not Alibaba. That's not what I'm saying. What was the other stock? Airbnb. There we go. They both came out at the same time, right? High valuations. Everybody was nervous about that, and after it came out, look at what it did. It fell. Notice here's my stop price. It fell below the stop price, got a sell recommendation, and then it's starting to move back up again. I'm not sure I'm feeling it just quite yet until they can take out that high. All right, earnings growth looks good. Earnings per share, even on a stock that I don't have a ton of data on, I'd really like to see it take out that high before I jump on board with it. All right, DQ, there it is. I got DQ. DQ looks good. I like that stock, and I cannot lie. My stock don't want none unless you got money, honey. Yeah. That's what I got right there. All right, there's DQ. There's DQ. Clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. Nicely above its stop. Moving, hitting a new high. I like nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say bad about DQ. That's a good-looking stock right there. That's a good-looking stock. I like it. I like that stock. All right. Boeing. You know, Boeing came back out. They were getting ready to get back up in the air. The anticipation, it did. And then it just settled in a little bit and it's going hum. It's like the bird on the old cartoons when the little buzzard was flying. Like, oh, my mama told me to get something for dinner. That's what it's doing right now. It's just hanging out. Just hanging out. Earnings per share, because of all of the ruckus that went on with their big jet, earnings is falling, earnings growth is falling, but the stock did a little bit of rebound and just fell back down. UMC is another good stock that I like in the semiconductor space. That is another stock. TSM, UMC, two great stocks that I like in the semiconductor space. So Mukesh, I won't add it to the list, but I do like that stock in the semiconductor space. All right, I do. What else is in here? FIW, beautiful looking equity curve. This is an ETF because I got no earnings. Yeah, this is an ETF. Love it. Sector utilities. You know something, no matter what happens in the world, we need utility stuff, right? We got to have lights. We got to have water. We got to have electric, all that stuff. That and REITs is something that tends to do well no matter what. But FIW looks good, clearly above the 20-day. Love that. 20 days serving as a beautiful level of support on the stock. All right, and that's all my stocks. That's all the stocks. An old plane went down. Oh, the old plane, I know, Bill, but I don't, that was one of their older planes in India. It was a 20-year-old plane that India flew. And even with that, Boeing didn't catch a whole bunch of flack for that. It was an old plane, but it's just leveling out. It's just leveling out. It wasn't a 737 MAX. No, it was an older 20-year-old plane. All right, so with that, folks, DQ is better than Dairy Queen. Yeah, it is. I'm not an ice cream eater. Navigation, please. How to add stop price. To do that, go over to the add parameter. Go over to price volume. Thank you, Joey. Go over to parameter, add parameter. Go down to price volume. And you will see the stop price. If you don't see stop price, that means it's already in your list. That means it's already in your list. All right, so that's how you get to the stop price. All right, last thing before you go, for all my new people that are here, did you enjoy the content today? This is specifically for my new people. This is specifically for my new people who are just visiting. Did you like the content today? And if you did, if you type a yes in the room, please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. For all my regulars in here, hit the like button if you haven't already. How many likes we got?
163.
Let's get 200 before we leave. Let's get 200 likes before we leave. All right, I'm going to try to do that. Let me show them, I love doing this. You'll see me here doing Trending Thursday. Please subscribe to the channel. All right. We'd love to have you come back again. Especially, and remember, every time you come, wow, Todd says don't beg. Am I begging, Joey? Wow, Joey's saying I'm begging. All right, fine. If you like the channel, like it. If you don't, don't. Plain and simple. All right, fine. That's all I got to say about it. I ain't begging. Man, that sucks. I wasn't begging. I'm just being truthful. That's just me being truthful. Do you know any more jokes? I've got a lot of jokes, but I'm not going to tell you any more jokes. Todd just made me sad. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Next week, I will not be here. Susan Hayes Colton, who is the host of Fantastic Female Friday, will be here next week in my place. All right. Don't forget to come to Trending Thursday. Please show her the same kind of love that you show me. All right, please show her the same kind of love you show me. She's doing it as a favor to me because I will be off next week. So my new people, thank you for showing up today. All my regular people, I love this community. You guys make it what it is, but I want the subscribership to go up. Todd, I'm not begging. I'm just asking. How about that? Yeah. I should slam the desk, but I'm not going to because I need a slam the desk type of thing. Anyway. Joey says I say bye for too long. All right. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha, salam, shalom, namaste. Have a great day, folks. We're out of here.